This one goes out to all little bros out there.
You live.
Safe, man. Might not be my blood, but you my little bro. Care about you, so I really gotta let you know. The streets foul, man, gotta reap what you sow. There's grown men out here grown that never grow. Lil' bro. Might not be my blood, but you my little bro. Care about you, so I really gotta let you know. The streets foul, man, gotta reap what you sow. There's grown men out here grown that never grow. Lil' bro, turn on the news, another kid got shot.
What's going on, y'all? Welcome to another episode of High Beat the Streets podcast. Oh, man. Now, to say I got a special guest in the building, that's an understatement, man. Big Bronx in the building, you know what I mean? We got the author, coach, father, entrepreneur, the young stunner himself, man. Maliki Oskino, what's going on, bro?
What's up? Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
On this show, we start with a quote. So I'm going to say this quote, and you let me know what this quote means to you. The quote we got for you today is, I went from a regular kid from the Bronx to getting mentioned in books. Anything is possible. What's that quote mean to you?
That quote means exactly what it says. It means anything is possible. Like, as long you said, like, you could, it doesn't matter where you start at. It just, anything is possible.
Right. When you say anything is possible, what that mean, man? We need kids to understand that, man.
So when I mean anything is possible, I mean anything is possible as long as you set your mind to it. So like my background is I came from the Bronx, an overcrowded household. It was like my whole family living in one 3-bedroom apartment. It was like 15 of us, and it was just poverty all around me. And for me to get to this level of writing books, selling real estate, starting my own business, hiring people from my community, is like something that I wouldn't imagine to be possible.
Hold on, y'all. Hold on. We're not going to get into it yet, man. Let's keep the show going before we get into this young man's story. So, question of the day, right? I know you heard about, like, Gilly and Gilly's son situation. So, as a father, what can you do if your son still want to, like, kind of, like, be in the mix, man? And I'm not asking this on some... You know what I mean? I'm like, respect the Gilly, you know what I mean? RP the son and all that. Word, RP the cheese. Like, it's not one of those we talking about what happened and all that. But as fathers, man, both of us is, you know what I mean? Fathers and all that. So what can you do if, you know, you've been there, you've done that, but somehow your son still want to be in the mix? Like, what can we do?
So I'm a father and I have sons and they're still young right now. So what I would recommend is trying to have a relationship with the mother, because if the mother and the father's on the same page, then it'll be a little bit easier because it's like both people going, like, pushing the kid in the right direction. So that's one piece of advice that I could give. And another thing that you could do is just show them the downfalls, and sometimes you got to let them bump their head too. So they said a tough father's a good father. So you got to be tough on them and not entertain them being in the streets and living that type of lifestyle. You gotta let them bump their head, kinda.
But if you let them bump their head, what if that come with, you know, circumstances like what we just seen? Is that the risk that we take if we let them bump their head?
So I'm a believer in God, and I believe everything happened for a reason. It's unfortunate what happened to him. My condolences to Gilly Wallow and everybody that loves cheese. I don't know him personally, but I see him on Instagram, and his father's, you know, coming up and doing his thing, and it's nothing that he could probably do because he was chasing his own dream. But some things are not preventable, but I just believe everything happened is God's plan.
All right. Now, I want to ask you that because, one, I mean, I know you're a father, especially of 3 boys, you know what I mean? So I feel like that question was important to ask you because...
Shout out to Chase Wells and City.
You know what I mean? For real. Definitely, that's why I want to ask you that, because it's like, you know what I mean? Like, as someone from the X, you know what I mean? You've been through the trials and tribulations of the streets. Like, what would you what would you do if, you know what I mean? After all this hard work you putting in, you know what I mean? The books, entrepreneur, everything you doing, and then for your son to still be on some... You know what I mean? Seeing dudes and running away and trying to emulate that. And it's like, that's why I wanted to ask you, what would you do in that situation?
So what I try to do is build on their strengths. I spend time with them and see what they like, because sometimes as a parent, we try to oppose what we think is best on our kids, but they might have a different route, and that might be the best route for them.
Right.
So I think you should spend time with your kids, figure out what their strengths are, and then just push that. And also exposure to different things. Like, I seen an interview with Jay-Z, and he said that his teacher took him to her house, and he seen a fridge that had an ice machine, and that motivated him to want more. So I think exposure is big to kids and being supportive.
Right.
Because a lot of parents just want their kids to take care of them, and they don't even lay a foundation for them to build upon. So I think that's one thing, starting the foundation, like, it's like a relay race. I look at it like you pass the torch.
That's dope. Nah, that's real. All right, bet. So 50 years of hip hop, you know what I mean? We in the Bronx. Everybody talking about 50 years of hip hop. We gonna drop a bomb for that, you know what I mean? So how has hip hop had an effect on your life?
Hip hop is a major part of my life. Like, growing up, I used to listen to Big. That was my favorite rapper, and I learned a lot of lessons from him, from 10 crack commandments to learning that's basically the rules of the streets, you know, 10 crack commandments, and then learning how to talk to a girl. And I forgot the name of the song where he was like, bring your friends and we all could be friends. Diddy said that part, but he was like, find out what your interests are, who you be with, things that make you smile. What number said that? Yeah. So, you know, hip hop had a major part of my life, and, you know, Jay-Z took it to another level, and one of his songs was like my driving factor while I was in prison, and it's called Ride With Me. It was a letter to Emery. And he was like, you want to take a ride with me? And that would like motivate me to come home, because one of the lines he said was like, yo, they got the Maybach coupes now. It only gets better. So that was my mindset. Like, you know, it ain't my time right now, but when it is my time, it's just only going to be better.
Ooh, that's dope. But the people that's viewing, they probably want to know who your top 5. So who your top 5 in hip hop?
My top 5 in hip hop, Jay-Z, Biggie. Oh, that's 2. Top 5, Jay-Z, Big. I fuck with Fab.
Okay, we had 3.
Styles P.
Oh, that's different. Styles P. Salute to Styles.
Shout out to Styles. He a real one. I be at Juices for Life all the time. We show love.
We have to go there after this, man.
And the other 5.
That 5. Who coming at the physical 5, man?
Damn, I don't know.
Gotta give us that 5, man. They waiting.
Rick Ross.
Oh, okay.
Fuck with Rick.
Nah, that's a different top 5, you know? Especially because you're from New York. People would expect guys from New York to throw them, especially from the Bronx. You know, hip hop star in the Bronx and all that. How come you ain't throw KRS-One in there, man? Come on,
I never listened to KRS-One because when I was coming up, it was big.
It was different.
It was a different era.
What's your thoughts on drill in the future of hip hop?
I think drill is a phase. I think it's a trendy thing. It's something that's gonna go out of style because I don't think it's gonna last too long. I think it's just a phase.
Why not? You know, there's a couple of little guys out there gonna be mad at you when they hear this, man. Like, what you mean?
Well, I really don't listen to drill, but I do listen to drill, but I try not to.
Why you trying not to?
Because I believe it'll bring. I try to keep myself calm. Like, I know who I am, and like so listen to certain things will excite me to do certain things. So I try to keep myself calm. So when I was younger, I used to see older dudes listening to R&B, driving their cars. Like, yo, this nigga listen to R&B. But now I understand it, because if you a savage, you got to keep yourself. You know, you got to protect other people from yourself. Right. So you got to keep yourself in a certain type of mind.
And that's a gem right there in itself, because I feel like people don't understand that, you know what I mean, the power of music. It could get into your psyche, you know what I mean? Like, listening to all that, shoot 'em up, bang, bang, clapping. It'll have you.
Yeah, when I caught my case, I was listening to Uncle Murder. That used to be my favorite artist right there. Shout out to Uncle Murder.
Shout out to Uncle Murder, man.
Yeah.
Nah, he was going crazy. But I get what you're saying, though, because it is true. And I think that's a big problem when it comes to the youth, you know what I mean? Especially in New York City. Like, drill is running there right now. But if you turn on the news, you know what I mean? Gun violence is going crazy in the city right now. And I feel like because young guys coming outside, it's the summertime. It's hot outside. It's good. It's energy. It's vibes. But if you listen to the drill all day, and you got people that's from the other side don't, you know what I mean, don't like what you got going on, it's easy to want to do what you got to do. So I'm happy that you said that.
I feel
man.
like be a leader, don't be a follower. Like everybody's not
Gems.
a driller. Everybody's not a gangster. Like this, it's okay to make music for the ladies. It's okay to make deep rap. You know, everybody's trying to follow. Most people are trying to follow a wave that they think is lit, but that's not gonna last too long.
Right.
So you should focus on something that's gonna last longer.
One of the great reasons I want you to come up here is because, you know, Oskino been through a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Maliki is taking it to the, you know what I mean? But I want to balance I want to balance the two because that's the whole purpose of this show. Because I want to show guys how to go from Oskino to Maliki. You know what I mean? I want to show the world because we all got that in us. You know what I mean? But I feel like a lot of people shy away from Maliki. You know what I mean? And they want to only tap into Oskino. And it's like, yo, why not blend the both? You know what I mean? Because when I went to college, I felt like so many people gave me attention because I love raising my hand in college. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care what class I was in. I'm like, yo, I think that we should. And I got so much love because I was in there with the big boy on, Polo Skelly. So they didn't expect me to be engaging in rich conversations in the college. And I'm like, what y'all mean? Like, so when I raised my hand, everybody was listening. And then that's when I realized, like, damn, they love to hear that perspective from a guy who come from those type of environments, but still enlightened. So for all y'all guys out there, I'm telling y'all, man, being smart is better. But without further ado, we're going to get right to the interview. What's your name and where you from?
Maliki Cottrell is my government name. That's the name my mother gave me. I'm from the Bronx, Walton Ave, Dub City is what they call it.
We're going to drop a bomb for that, man. Now, can you tell us a little bit about your biggest challenge growing up in the streets of the Bronx?
My biggest challenge was finding a role model, somebody who was successful in what I was trying to do, like somebody that was legitly rich, like a black man that was rich, that was doing his things, that wasn't selling drugs or extorting people or robbing people. Finding a role model that I could shadow or get mentorship from, that was the hardest thing, because as soon as I step outside, you know, I see the drug dealers with the Avrex, leather coats, big Cuban links, good cars, Benzes, all type of foreigns. So it's like that blinds you. That's the first thing you see. So it's like navigating a maze.
Mm-hmm. So it's like, yo, how do I get in tune with that? You know what I mean? And that be the problem. So let's say from 2005 to 2003, how has the streets changed in your opinion?
There was more people that was hustling versus using. I feel like back in the days, the hustlers was the type of people you want to be. Like, you want to be a hustler. Now, all of the kids is talking about using drugs, like lean, perks. I don't have nothing against that. But it's more like they talking about like themselves as fiends. Like, yeah, I pop this, I drink that. Back in the days, we wouldn't look at that as cool. We'd be like, oh, you got a block that's getting money. That was the thing, like getting money, selling drugs, running a block, you know.
Right. All right. So have you ever been in a situation where you was incarcerated and had to go through that?
Okay, yeah. In 2007, I got locked up for possession of a weapon, attempted assault. So I had to do 3.5 years. So yeah.
What was the biggest thing you learned from being deprived of your freedom?
I learned a lot of things. It was like it was like a university being.
You need to hear that. These are gems you need to hear.
So much. So one of the biggest things I learned was gangsters don't rule the world. Smart people do.
Gems.
Because it'll be a person with 100 bodies, but a judge that has never caught a body could sentence you to 100 years. So who really got the power? So and that made me want to tap into being an educated gangster. And I read books by Huey P. Newton, Bobby Seale, and I liked how they move. Like, they educated themselves on how to carry weapons and protect their community. So that was like one of the things I learned in there, and there was a lot of things I learned in there.
Where you was at?
I was on Rikers Island in every building, C-74, C-73, the Beacon, every building. And I was in Washington Correctional. I was in Bear Hill. I was in Ulster. I was in Downstate.
Yeah.
I was in a lot of places.
And like, for somebody who, you know, was new, you know, coming in there, how was you able to navigate that whole situation? Like, staying 10 toes down and, just survive, basically.
So it taught me how I learned how to navigate. Well, I learned how to navigate when I realized I wasn't coming home. So when I first got in there, I was like, oh, I'm about to get out. I'm about to get out. Once I got sentenced, that's when I realized, like, oh, it's lit. I gotta control my environment. Like, I gotta do what I gotta do. So yeah, like every crib I used to go in, I used to just go in with my bag of my possessions, drop it in my cell, and then hop on the phone. And if nobody said nothing when I hopped on the phone, then I was good. I know nobody was doing nothing. But if somebody would have said something, then I would have just popped off and they would have just sent me to another crib. So I learned how to just get straight to it. Like, it ain't no running from it. Just get to it.
Now, do you think jail is a form of rehabilitation, or do it just make us more tough, more wild, more, you know what I mean?
So it depends on the individual. So what I notice is a lot of people that's not really like tough like that in the streets, they build a name for themselves in jail. Like, if they not getting money in the town, some niggas will get money in jail. Some people wasn't busting their guns, they wasn't doing nothing, but they'll cut you and stuff like that, and then it'll be vice versa. People that was getting money in the streets, they'll be straight. They'll turn into fiends in jail. So it just depends on the individual.
Okay. Now, thinking about that whole situation, right? Like, what can we do to avoid those type of circumstances, like getting locked up? You know what I mean? Like, going through the system and all that. Like, what would you just get one gem quick out there that could?
So one gem I could give is idle time is the devil's playground. And what I mean by that is, if you go outside without a plan for what you're going to do minute by minute, hour by hour, then the devil is going to find his way in your life. So
Gems.
if I just go outside and I don't have nothing to do and I stand on the corner, somebody might just come shooting, or the police might just come lock me up. But if I got a plan that I'm going to go to this store at 1 o'clock, I'm going to go to this place at 2 o'clock, I'm going to go to this place at 4 o'clock, then there's no room for error.
Okay.
So you minimize your risk.
No, we need to hear that. For the guys that come home, go right back. Come home, go right back. Why they always, you know what I mean? Like, we got to talk about that, because so many guys, get their freedom taken away from them, and then come back out here, they outside, you see the sun is shining, it's lit outside, but they end up going back to the can.
So what I noticed is, because I got a lot of friends in the act that's in jail right now, and I ask them all the time, what's your plan for when you get out? And they be like, I'm going to figure it out when I get there. That's the problem. While you in jail, you have to use your time wisely. You got to write down a plan A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, all the way through Z of what you're going to do to accomplish whatever goal you have. So you write a plan A, B, C, whatever, of what you're going to do on the first day you get out, the second day you get out, the third day you get out, and you stick to it. And you got to keep the mindset that all the people that wasn't checking for you when you was locked up, don't get gas because you came home. Because it'd be like, you be in jail asking people for $50, they won't send it. You call, there's no money on the phone, but then you coming home, you partying with them, right. You risking your life for them. So you got to be real with yourself.
I ain't gonna front. People don't talk about that neither. Like it's a lot of people that get no support at all. But as soon as they come back to their community, it be the same thing. Like, everybody show love when you get back. But that's why I don't be understanding.
And you got to treat the town like jail. You got to have a schedule. You got to lock in. So when you see, when people, sometimes when I first came home, people was partying. I made myself so busy that I ain't have time for that. I just stuck to my plan because I know I was trying to get off parole. I was trying to get my real estate license. I was trying to start a business. I was trying to become successful and get rich. So these people ain't have the same goal as me. So it's like they taking the train, they taking the 4 train, I'm taking the 6 train. We going in 2 different directions, so we can't hop on the same train. So it's like I gotta I gotta stay focused on my path.
Gems. All right. Nah, I ain't gonna lie, yo.
You gotta be selfish sometimes. You know, it's not wrong with focusing on self, pouring back in self. You can't pour from a glass that's half empty or almost empty.
So how was you able to change your mindset from the street mentality to a business mind?
So I was always like a business person. I define an entrepreneur as somebody that could turn one into two, that could make something out of nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So when I was growing up, my mother, she didn't have a job. So she would like get clothes from people and she would hang them up on the gate and sell it. And that's how she would make money. So she ain't make no excuses. So the first job I had was packing bags at the supermarket. I was like 8 years old. I used to wake up at like 6 a.m. so I could get the good line, the good aisle to pack bags at. So I used to pack bags, do deliveries, get tips. At the end of the day, I probably make like $100.
Get to it.
And then I started. So basically how I was able to transition is like I always had a hustler mentality. And I always kept it real with myself. A lot of people are not real with themselves. So after I got sentenced, I analyzed my situation. I knew I had 2 to 3 felonies, and my education I wasn't educated. I didn't have a degree.
So how far did you take education?
So I got my GED while I was in jail, and then I took college courses. I got 12 college credits inside jail. And then when I came out, I went to Lehman College, and now I got 100 credits in business. So I didn't finish because I started my business while I was in college, and my phone was ringing so much. I was getting so much business that I had to make a decision. Am I going to finish this degree and hopefully get a job for somebody? Or am I going to push my business to the fullest? And I decided to take a leap of faith and push my business to the fullest. Good decision. And I'm still here 11 years later.
Woo! We gonna drop the ball. Chill on. He dropped that lately. We ain't gonna take that lightly. We gonna drop the ball.
So how was I able to transition was I analyzed my situation. I had felonies, and I knew I wasn't going to get the type of job that was going to pay me what I wanted. So I knew I had to start my own business. So I read a book about successful people and what they had in common. The book was about Diddy, Oprah, and a bunch of other successful people.
What was the name of that book?
I forgot the name of the book.
You're going to come back to that.
And it compared what they did. Most of them woke up early. Most of them owned the business. Most of them owned real estate. So I'm like, I'm going to follow the winning strategy. I'm going to own the business.
Gems.
And I'm going to get real estate. So that's what I did.
I ain't going to lie. Woof. So how did your entrepreneur journey start?
So my journey started when I came home from jail. So when I came home from jail, a woman named Nicole White, I met her at Fortune Society. I told her that I wanted to enroll in school and I wanted to start a business. And I was like very organized with what I wanted to do and how I wanted to do it. And I was very punctual. I was always early or on time. So one time, an opportunity came across her lap for entrepreneurship incubator, where it's something like Shark Tank, where people would pitch their ideas and they had the chance to win up to $100,000. So I interviewed for the business pitch competition and I came in first place.
Oh, hold on.
So yeah.
You're not gonna let that rock lightly, man. Yo, he trying to be humble, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not gonna be humble for him. First place?
Yeah.
How many people was in the competition?
It was 50 other guys.
Come on, man.
And I was like one of the youngest too.
That's fire, bro. I ain't gonna lie, that's fire,
so
bro.
Yeah, after I won that competition, I got a office space for a year at WeWork downtown Manhattan.
So what was the business idea?
I Hold Junk. It was a junk removal company.
Ooh.
So competition had requirements. The requirements were that you must be able to start a business that could hire a lot of guys and that didn't require a physical brick and mortar like an office space. So I decided to do a junk removal company because I'm like, I could hire guys that came straight home because all these guys are strong. They could lift, load, and throw stuff in a truck.
Makes sense.
So I started that business. I got a customer instantly, and then I came in first place, got the office space. I was in New York Times. I was in Inc. magazine. I was in Christian Chronicles, a couple other magazines.
And I seen a couple of those magazine interviews, man. They were showing a lot of love. So how much they gave you?
Up to 100,000.
Okay.
So yeah, but they didn't give it to me all at one shot. They gave it to me in little piece by piece.
Okay.
So I had to show them some work. Then they'll give me the rest like that.
So over time, you was able to use the bread that they invested to keep the business going.
Yep.
You still got the business?
Yes, I do.
Oof. I asked that question.
The website is www.i-haul-junk.com. It's I Hold Junk.
All right.
And I'm gonna show you my business card and logo so y'all know which one it is when y'all see
Hold on, y'all. There's a lot of money in that wallet too, man. He getting money. That's fire, man.
So, yeah.
So thinking about some of the people that you put in position, you know, to do the business, what's some of the reviews you got, you know what I mean, from one, people that bought into the business and like, you know, clients and all that, and then people that work with you, some of the reviews.
So some of the reviews I got from the clients are like, yo, we do phenomenal service because we're a family-owned company, so we're able to tailor-make our service towards each client. So if they want something done, we could do it versus like a big company where they can't really tailor-make the service. And as far as the guys that I hired over 50 guys from my community.
Salute.
Some of these guys working with me was their first time ever working. These is like street dudes that been hustling and doing illegal things to support themselves all their life. So they first time ever getting a uniform was from me. They first time actually getting a real check was from me. And it's also good because some of the guys, they just wanted the opportunity to do right. So
a lot of us was like
they came home and they started working with me. They went home with their uniform. They went home with their check, and now they family looking at them like, you wasn't lying. You said you was coming home to do the right thing, and you really doing the right thing. So now they family's proud of them. It's just like a snowball effect.
That's fire, man. We gotta definitely make some noise for you, man. Like, let that rock out, because very rarely do you meet someone, you know what I mean, from the community who's really down to help other brothers. You know what I mean? So many of us, we get in position and then we just worry about ourselves and our families. But for you to be able to like want to put other people in position, that's special, man. So tell us a little bit about more of your other businesses after, you know, the IHO.
So I started a nonprofit called Unincarcerated America. So the nonprofit is a business where people from the community could come to our office with their problems and get help. So we help people. So when you come to our office, you fill out an intake form with what's your credit score, what's your housing status, what's your employment status, what's your education level. So we look at all of that, and by the time you leave the program, your credit score will be higher. You'll be employed. If you're not employed, you would have a job. We'll help you write it into a resume. We'll plug you in with some of the people that we know that have businesses. Housing. So if you need help with housing, we'll help you get an apartment. We'll help you plug you in with housing specialists from different programs that provide vouchers and or even low income housing.
That's what's up.
So yeah, we also offer like business startup classes. So people that want to start a business, we'll show them how to start a business, from building a website to incorporating, getting an LLC, getting their name, their business name, things like that, writing a business plan.
Should I tap in with the boy, man?
Also real estate. Also, we give them classes on how to become a licensed real estate agent, how to invest in real estate. So it's just all inclusive, and we focus on what we believe the community really needs. Like people need good credit. People need to learn how to invest in themselves. People need to know financial literacy.
Right. Now, here on this show, you know what I mean, we always down with helping the community. That's a big part of what we do here. So why do you want to help people so much?
I want to help people so much because I'm a natural giving person.
That's dope.
Even though I didn't have a lot, I always gave. And I want to help the community because I'm tired of seeing us at the bottom. I'm tired of seeing other cultures do better than us, and right. I have love for every culture, but I want to see my people do good. So like sometimes when I be doing real estate, it be people my age that it be like a family. It be the son, it be the father and the sons working together to buy properties and invest, and I'm like, damn, that's beautiful. I would like to see my people do things like that.
And when you say your people, just for everybody who just getting new to who you are and they watching the show right now, what's your background? Like, what's your mother background, your father background? Like, what's your culture?
My mother is Jamaican and my father's Jamaican and Panamanian, so Caribbean.
Okay. So you 100% Caribbean.
Yeah.
That's why.
So you're Jamaican.
Okay, all right. They gonna like that. So, I know you got a stellar real estate background. How'd you get involved with real estate?
So I got involved with real estate by reading a book called Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Okay.
It opened my mind to assets, liabilities, and money, financial literacy. So once I learned how money works, then I started to apply it.
Oh.
So in my life, I try to have more things that's generating money than taking away money, more assets than liabilities.
So what's your opinion on jobs, like 9-to-5s and all that?
So a job is good. I have nothing against a job, but the only thing with a job is like some jobs have caps. So you can only go so high. And also the thing with a job is like somebody could fire you at any time. So that's my thing with a job. I have nothing against it because a person with a job could also invest. They could use their 401k. They could use their salary. They could use their paycheck to invest in other things. So I have nothing against a job. It's just what's good for who.
Right.
Everybody's different.
Now coming up, I ain't gonna lie, I seen your face on so many people pages, bro, who either open up an event space, got an apartment, open up a juice bar, you know what I mean? So just talk to me a little bit about some of your success stories of like helping people get in a position, like just anything that you could think of, like, yo, I love this day, I helped da-da-da-da, like.
So there's so many stories, but I didn't help people acquire spaces because the idea was totally up to them. I just helped them bring it to reality. So somebody would come to me with a vision, and then I'll walk them through the steps of how to obtain that.
Fire.
So I done help people get event spaces, juice bars. I even had a drink named after me in a juice bar. So
what's the name of that drink? Hold on.
It was called the Young Stunner.
Chill.
It had mango, pineapple, and some other stuff in it. So
that's fire.
I done help people get investment properties. I done help people sell properties. So yeah.
Now, so for somebody who want to get into like commercial real estate and maybe they don't know too much, but they want to, after watching this episode, they want to holler at you and they be like, yo, I got the money, but where's the market going right now? Like, what should I invest in? What would you tell them?
What would I tell them to invest in? So real estate is the number one thing because in America, most millionaires came from real estate.
Need somewhere to live.
You got to follow the winning strategy. If most millionaires came from investing in real estate, that's where you should go. So
tenants. So it's basically being a landlord.
So yeah, I would tell somebody to invest in real estate because it's passive income. So you could buy a property and have other people paying you monthly. Every first of the month, you got a check coming in.
Right. So as far as real estate, do you help people get the property or do you have properties?
So I help people get properties. I'm an agent.
Now, how does that work? Because everybody want to know that. And I know people want me to ask you the right question. Like, yo, you got to ask them the right question. So how do you get your cut if you just helping somebody? Like, say right now, I want to get a juice bar. You know what I mean? I hit you, you get me the spot, and now I opened up, I'm in business. But how do you get your cut in that?
So I get my cut by getting a commission. I get paid when we close the deal. So if I sell a property for you, I'll get whatever I negotiate from you. It'll be 6%, it could be 10%, it could be 6%, it could be 3%. It's whatever we negotiate, whatever we agree to. And if you want to just get if you just want to get a rental space like a juice bar, an event space, then it would be like one month of rent you would have to pay me.
Okay. So how important was your mindset in this journey? 'Cause that's a lot, bro. I ain't gonna lie, from listening to your story, it's a lot. You know what I mean? From how you grew up in the Bronx, being outside, to getting locked up, to the business aspect, to family. So how was you able to get your mindset right, bro? That's not easy.
So how I got my mindset right was reading a lot of books from successful people. Like, you gotta read because reading would help open your mind to different places that you can't even fathom. Because before I started reading, I didn't even know about these things. Like, there's so many things out here that we don't even know about. So I would read, and mindset is very important because that's everything. Your brain controls the body.
Right.
So you got to start with the strongest muscle, the brain.
Gems.
So when I was locked up, I had a quote on my cube which said, "It's 10% what happens to you, 90% how you react to it," and that will help me navigate through the prison and eventually get out. Because it's like, it's right now, a dude could step on your sneakers, y'all could start fighting.
Right.
You could stab him, you could shoot him, or you could keep walking. So it's 90% how you react to it that's going to determine your future. And I also look at life like a multiple choice test. So basically, any scenario, you got multiple choices. And based on those choices that you take, it's going to be a summary of your life.
Woo! I ain't gonna lie, my boy came here today to drop gems, man. Now it's only right that we get into this book right here, man. Put this in the camera. Y'all see this, man? An author, you know what I mean? Change your life in 33 steps. We're not gonna get into all the 33 because y'all gotta buy this book, man. Before I even ask this question, where can they get the book if they can't reach you for the physical copy?
Amazon, Barnes & Noble. Click the link on my social media, young__4_stunner 4_ on Instagram.
There you go. Now, can you share with us 5 of those steps? Because everybody that's watching it, we trying to change our lives, man. We trying to come up. Give us some steps.
So one of the steps is focusing on mindset, like focusing on your mindset, getting a clear mind. So this book is like a self-help book. So what the person would do is they will read it, and it's like a workbook. So you read the quote.
Oh, you go right into it too.
This quote right here says, this is the first one. It says, "My resume is going to be as long as my rap sheet. I'm going to stay motivated and never let life relax me." So activity, start acquiring skills that will make you more marketable. A trade, education, etc. On the lines below, list the skills you plan to acquire and set a deadline to acquire them. So you could say, get my OSHA license.
Right.
You could say the truck driver, my CDL. And then the deadline to do it. Boom. That's the first step.
That's so dope,
as you go through the book, there's more activities to do. And then by the time the person comes home from jail, they'll have this book as a guide, like,
what to do? Ooh.
Something to look back on, like, all right, cool, let me stick to my plan.
I ain't gonna front. Anybody that watched this, man, cause we gonna throw 100,000 into the ads, man. Make sure everybody see that, man. We want y'all to tap in, man. If you somebody that's into prison reform, check out Change Your Life in 33 Steps, man. Because this book right here will help so many guys that just going through them rough patches, man. We're not looking down on nobody. We understand how it go. But you gotta start that first step into reform, which is the education, man. This book right here is gonna get us right. You heard?
Mindset is number one. I would recommend to anybody, reverse engineer. Start at the end and work your way back. So if you want to be a millionaire, then you just say, I want to make $1 million. What can I do to make $1 million? Then you start doing it. Or you want to become a rapper. You want to get signed. What does the label need to sign you? All right, boom, boom, boom. So you reverse engineer whatever you're trying to do. And then you also find people who have done it, and then you just learn from them. That's how you skip the line. Instead of learning from your own mistakes, you just learn from somebody that's done it already. Just follow the winning strategy. Don't reinvent the wheel.
Gems. Now, this part of the show, we call it Save the Youth. Being based in a high school, right? We want to know, what advice would you give to like a 15-year-old who not really feeling school? You know what I mean? They outside, they in the Bronx, they in Harlem, they in Queens, Brooklyn, whatever. They in the mix, you know what I mean? They in the streets full time. And as an early teen, what do you think is needed in order to get our life on the right track? You know what I mean? Like, everybody don't like school. And that's just a fact. I feel like a lot of people don't want to talk about that, especially when you got kids. As a teacher myself, I meet a lot of parents who have a hard time understanding, especially in the high school level, when a kid is like, I don't want to do this no more. Like, this is not feeding me. But the only other option, which a lot of parents tell me, is like, I don't have nothing for them. I don't got no uncle or anybody that's going to help put them, you know what I mean, help them see something better. So I need them to be invested in school, but they not. So what would you tell that kid who's like, yo, I don't want to rock with school. My mom's just whatever, they talking this, but I'm not with that. But I'm also outside in the streets, and right now we talked about it, drill, all that is out there. What would you tell that particular kid?
So a kid that's 15 years old, his mind might not be strong enough to see the reality of life. What I would have him do is fill out like a rental application or a apartment application or a job application, right?
That's different.
On the job, they're going to ask you, what's your education level?
Mm-hmm.
What skills do you have?
I like this.
What's your credit score? And then the kid might realize, like, damn. And then you could also, like, school is not for everybody. There's some people that's better outside of school, like
trades and all that.
Yeah, so exposure. Like, a lot of kids want to see the money. They about the money. They want money. So if you show a kid, like, listen, you could do this and make this, that might resonate more with them. So exposure to people that look like them, that's doing things, and set them up with a mentorship.
That's dope.
Somebody that to tap in with them once a week for a phone call where they could visit their house, see how they living, sit in their car, be like, oh shit, you want to drive a Benz? You want to live like this? This all you got to do.
What I did.
So yeah,
and that's why we got brothers like you on the show, man. So we appreciate you coming through today, man. Now for Mama Love Gems, can you share a piece of advice your mother gave to you coming up that you just always held with you, like, yo, this right here, you know what I mean? Like my mom.
So many gems that my mother gave me.
Just one.
One gem that my mother gave me is, well, I don't know if people gonna like this, but one of the things she told me is like a liar is worse than a thief.
Ooh.
Because like a liar will get you like sent away forever, get you, so one thing she was big on, you better not lie. So a liar is worse than a thief. Like a thief is just trying to, that don't mean that it's good to steal.
Right.
But people that lie, you got to watch them. And like another one is like, a promise is a comfort to a fool.
Ooh.
So it's like, don't be listening to promises. Actions speak louder than words.
Dope. Now, for the putting you on segment, can you just share with us, it could be a book, movie, song, podcast, something that just help you get your mind right. Like, yo, if I listen to this podcast, or I listen to the song, or I read this book. You talked about a few books earlier, so maybe let's exclude books. Something else, you know what I mean, that just help you get that mind right.
A song that get me motivated is Diamonds Are Forever from Jay-Z. It's like cause my mindset is like, I want to see my team win. So Jay-Z was like, oh, Skino and Sparks to this motherfucker up. So he was like that.
I like that.
Dame Dash also, be your own boss. When he talk all of that, be your own boss. Like,
shout out to Dame.
Yeah, shout out to Dame. It's like, be your own boss, and it's like nobody could fire you. And he wake up when he want to wake up. He do what he want to do, like, and always, yeah. So yeah,
that's it. I bet. Now, I ain't gonna front, bro. Talking to you today, I'm like, damn, your life could be a movie, man. For real. So, like, if your life was a movie right now, and we all sitting down, I'm from Harlem, so we in Magic Johnson Theater, and we watching your movie, what would be the 3 key takeaways that everybody will walk away from your life story?
That's hard. I don't know, because everybody has a different perspective. Lemons to lemonade meringue pie. So,
let's get the second
it's
one.
about having nothing and turning it into something. The second one is that I didn't let my environment get the best of me. I almost lost my life when I was 17. I got stabbed 11 times. So I've been to jail a couple times. So it's like I was lucky. I was fortunate that
that's a real one.
God had it planned out. The last one is that kind of like Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, Barack Obama, like one of those people that
that's dope. That's a dope mix right there.
That the community could see themselves in, and that gives hope.
Give hope to the people.
Yeah, let them
the
know
community
that,
could see
a person that's like you could make it. You don't gotta, you could make it.
That's dope, man. I ain't gonna front, man. Yo, we gonna clap it up for you, man, because the reason why we clapping it up for you right now is it's very rare that we see brothers, turn a lemon. So wait, what's that? I ain't even know.
Lemon meringue pie.
I was gonna say lemonade, lemon meringue pie. You changed the game with that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's very rare that we see brothers, you know what I mean, change their whole trajectory using their mindset, using their education, and just get in position. You know what I mean? You a father. You know what I mean? You doing just great things, man. Take care of your family, your woman, your people, your community. I know you're making your mom proud. So we just want to make sure, man, we give every guest that come through, you know what I mean, a little token. And it's not just a T-shirt, man. This is more so a sign that you beat the streets, man. From the Bronx, from where you came from. That's hard, man.
It's a trophy right here. It's a trophy right here because, you know, people gonna be going, like, this is like Hollywood Walk of Fame, you know?
That's a fact.
If you got one of these, you down, you know?
And it's really just because.
Appreciate that. And I got this book for you, too.
Man. Oh, I get a gift, too?
I want you to pass it on to somebody that's in prison, or they don't even got to be in prison. They just got to be not sure of where they want to go, and they just need a little help navigating and getting to where they want to go.
Bad. And that's how I go, man. Thank y'all for tuning in, man. Before we go, let everybody know where they can follow you, all your businesses at, all your pages, so they can tap in with y'all.
So I'm mostly on Instagram at young_stunner, STUNNA 4_. You can find me there and click the link in my bio. It's a link tree with all of my businesses. You could schedule a one-on-one consultation. You could get help with whatever you need. Just check me out. Young _stunner 4_ on Instagram.
And then what about the alcohol business?
So you could tap in with me through the website. You go to www.i-hall-junk.com and you just click the contact us or call the number that you see on the website.
There you go, man. I got old Skino, my brother Maliki in the building, man.
Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
This one goes out to all little bros out there. Y'all be safe, man. Might not be my blood, but you my little bro. Care about you, so I really gotta let you know. The streets foul, man, gotta reap what you sow. It's grown men out here grown, I never grow. Lil' might not be my blood, but you my little bro.